tax code, the December, the employer have to make the adjustment. So that there's no more refunding coming from the BIR.
So that amount corresponded to the taxes on the bonus in excess of 30,000 and the salary of 604,308.45. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, you said that Chief Justice Corona had no income tax return filed.
Yes, sir.
It means that other than the Alpha List, what is stated in the Alpha List, the Chief Justice did not have any other income per BIR records.
Yes, sir.
What about his wife?
His wife also did not file an ITR. She also has an alpha list from Camp John Hay.
And therefore, the same presumption is valid that she did not have any other compensation other than what appears in the Alpha List.
Actually, with the wife, she has a little problem because she received, aside from her compensation, she received a director's fee where withholding tax is only 10%. So there was no proper withholding of taxes, and she should have filed an income tax return.
And your records will not show that an income tax return was filed.
Yeah, there's no income tax return filed.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Anyone else? Majority Floor Leader,
Senator Recto, Mr. President.
the gentleman from Batangas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very briefly, in the interest of fairness and justice, and to increase the intellectual quotient of our public with regard to taxes, I ask these few questions, Mr. President. Mr. President, let me first follow up on the question of our Senate President. Allowances and bonuses. Ang sinabi ng ating testigo kanina, pagka mahigit 30,000 ay taxable na. Tama ho ba yun?
Aha.
Sino ang dapat mag-withhold niyan? Yung employer.
Aha, ang employer ho.
At kung alam ng employee na kulang ang withhold, dapat nag-file siya ng income tax return.
Aha.
Para yung balance siya dapat ang magbayad.
Aha.
Pero mahirap sigurong isipin para sa ordinaryong empleyado that is the case. Halimbawa, pag dito ka nagtatrabaho sa Senado, nakatanggap ka ng bonus, mahigit 30,000, hindi ka na mag-file ng bagong income tax return. I suppose that is happening throughout the bureaucracy in the different government agencies.
Sir, I think
I'm just stating a fact, ha?
yes. It should be the employer who
Correct.
should make the adjustment
Correct.
at the end of the year.
So, sa mga tuwid, pagka halimbawa, in the case of the Supreme Court, there is an accounting office. Kung hindi nila, o the initial basic salary, kung hindi nila kinaltasan, lalo pang hindi nila rinimit, sila ang mananagot.
Actually, sa batas, dalawa ho ang mananagot.
So, silang
no?
dalawa?
Oho, silang dalawa pa
Saka
rin
natin,
ho.
I'll just review the law, pero silang dalawa mananagot.
Oho, yung isa for non-withholding, yung isa for not paying taxes.
Posible. No?
Aha.
Okay. So let me move from that issue. Incidentally, I do have a bill on February 2. We will have a hearing on that. But let me move on, Mr. President. On the face of the car testified to earlier, I think this is WW. This is with regard to the La Vista property. Without looking at the income tax returns. Dito, ito yung binenta ni Cristina Corona kay Maria Carla Castillo. Just on its face. Sa makatuwid, dito, nakalagay dito, binenta ko tong property ito, 18 million yung halaga. Just on its face. At nakalagay dito, nagbayad si Mrs. Corona ng 1,296,000. Tama ho ba yun?
Oho.
Okay. Therefore, kumita siya na mahigit 16 million.
Oho.
Tama?
Kung totoo ho yung
Kung
transaction.
tama, on its face.
Yes,
Totoo yung
yes.
transaction nangyari.
Oho.
Ha? Let's not make any conclusions further than that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so having said that, Madam Witness, aside from the income of the Chief Justice, para makita natin ang katotohanan din, to be fair to the defense as well. Halimbawa, kung sakasakali na totoo itong transaksyon na ito, hindi lamang yung sweldo ni Chief Justice Corona ang dapat natin i-compute, kung hindi, itong isang pagbentang ito, nagbayad pa siya ng buwis katunayan ng 1,296,000 at dapat idadagdag natin ito, kumita siya ng mahigit 16 million dito. On its face. Isn't that correct?
On its face, yes, sir, but the
Thank you. Thank you for
period
the answer.
is different.
No.
Yes,
What you're
sir, on its
saying
face.
now is, in the income tax return, so let me proceed to that. What you testified earlier is on the income tax return of Maria Carla Castillo.
Yes,
In
sir.
effect, you're questioning her capability to buy
Yes,
this
sir.
property
Yes, sir.
just by reviewing the income tax returns.
Of Maria Carla
That is right.
Constantino.
Have you reviewed the income tax returns of the husband as well?
Yes, sir.
But that has not been testified to yet.
No, sir.
Hindi pa. So,
No.
ibig sabihin, magkakaroon pa kayo niyan. Posible.
I don't know, sir.
Maybe. Kasi tinawag ng prosecution eh. No? Okay. Kung halimbawa naman, yung kanyang father-in-law ang nagpautang sa kanya, I mean, it does not necessarily prove anything immediately. If at all, non-payment of taxes sila, but it doesn't prove immediately that it is conclusive na wala siyang pera para bilhin ito. On that other hand.
Yes, sir.
Di ba?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
well, thank you for that. My time is up, Mr. President.
In other words, the mere incapacity on record of his income tax by a buyer of property to buy the property is not an absolute evidence of illegalness of resources used to buy the property.
We have to look at other circumstances, sir.
Precisely. You are just basing your conclusion on the fact that the income tax return on its face of the buyer would not support the ability to purchase.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. President, one final member of the court, Senator Joker Arroyo, wishes to be recognized.
The gentleman from Makati Indigo.
This is not really a question, but clarification. You said that on the 19th of January, you received the subpoena.
18th of
18th.
Yes, sir.
And immediately you wrote the executive secretary.
I wrote the executive secretary on January 19, the next day.
All right. Now, and on January 20, you received the authorization.
Yes, sir, at 6:45
Alright.
p.m.
I just want to lay the speed with which
Pardon, sir.
the speed with which
Sir, I harassed them to issue it because otherwise I might be cited in contempt by the Senate
how
procedure.
could you have harassed them when you said you did not talk to them?
No, I harassed the Deputy Legal Presidential Counsel, sir.
All right, we will take a word for it now. Because now I did not exactly capture what you answered the defense. Is this the first time since you assumed office that the President of the Philippines issued an authority to the Commission of Internal Revenue to release the ITRs?
Yes, sir.
So in other words, throughout the period when you were, when did you assume the office of?
Just July 2, 2010, sir, at the same time as the President.
So that's roughly 1.5 years.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for 1.5 years, there was never an instance where the President of the Philippines authorized the release of an ITR.
No, sir.
So this stands out as, you know, of a kind of a singular incident.
Sir, because nobody asks for returns from
Yeah.
us that's not authorized, sir.
Then, again, I want to be clarified as to the statement that the Commissioner of Internal Revenue is now conducting an investigation of Chief Justice Corona.
Sir, I said that it warrants a further investigation, sir.
Right, okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm just basing this on the recollection of your statement. No? In the course of your examination of the papers that you had, you found it necessary to pursue an investigation. And do I understand you correctly?
Sir, because of the
Not you don't give the reason first. It was because of your investigation. Then you can. Was
Yes.
it because of that? The
uh,
papers in front of you.
the data in the papers in front of me dictates that I should investigate further.
All right. Now, and you conducted an investigation.
We are conducting an investigation at present.
Now, does the Commissioner of Internal Revenue personally conduct an investigation of the papers? I mean, at your level, is that not delegated to someone else?
Sir, when paper comes to me and I see there's something wrong, I ordered the investigation. So on my first review, if there's already something wrong, then I will order. But if there's nothing wrong, then I will just let it aside.
I ask this question because if you pursue your investigation, I'm not saying you shouldn't, then there will be a parallel case against the Chief Justice. One in the impeachment court and another one of the Commissioner of Internal Revenue. Now, I get a little bothered by that. I'm not saying it's wrong or right, but a twin move against one person here in the Senate through impeachment, another one in the Internal Revenue through investigation using the powers of the Bureau of Internal Revenue. That's very potent. I'm just saying that because from your testimony, you said that we are now conducting an investigation. Meaning, there seems to be some over-eagerness in them.
Sir, it's not over. I guess the thing there is, if we see there's something wrong and we do not do anything, people will accuse us of sleeping on our job.
Let me ask you, do you think you could have postponed the investigation? You can imagine you were going to appear here and simultaneously you're conducting an investigation. I mean, doesn't that a little bit unusual? What I'm saying is this. You are preparing for your testimony here. At the same time, you and your office are studying already whether the respondent Corona did not file or what's that? Did not have enough income or made or his report or his income. What's your investigation about?
Sir?
What is the nature of your investigation?
It's a net worth method to determine whether there was some income that he did not report and did not pay taxes thereon.
All right. I ask the question. Can you not have waited?
Sir, I only answered the question about seeing this.
Remember, the question here is one of policy. We don't want the public to think that the forces of the government are being used